to Des Moines, Iowa. We just got in a Homesteader company car, headed off to Homesteaders. We're gonna have lunch with Mr. Dean Lambert, and then all day meetings. We're out here to meet with Homesteaders about our social media partnership, their social strategy, what we're doing with them, and then we've got a mutual client that's out here as well to talk about their 2018 strategy. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Here for Dean Lambert. This is us.
That's you.
Don't really mind, and I don't have the time. Every day I go out, every day a new route that you know nothing about, nah. Why always me? Ooh, like
What is your preference? What's the best way to do that? Is it good? Would you recommend that a funeral home put a Have the Talk tab on their Facebook page, or they do it right there in the feed?
Do it right there in the feed, because that's content that can get engagement because it's valuable. If a funeral home has no engagement and they're just putting out obituaries and then they throw Have a Talk of a Lifetime content out there, it's not going to do anything. You've got to do ads and other content to get them into the ecosystem for that content to work. And so what I've talked about out of that survey, and we just put out a video this morning where I talk about the one statistic NFT that is out there that no one talks about, and it's 82% of consumers shop the one funeral home. So if you are the first funeral home to the party, that person is in your ecosystem and you provide value, there's an 82% chance that you win that call. Social media is the first way to get to the party and the easiest way to provide value. And the reason only 47% of people have gone to a Facebook page for the funeral home is because less than 47% of the population of funeral homes can do social media halfway, let alone correctly. So there's a big correlation between providing value and engagement to getting a call. And if 82% get the information they need, there's 82% chance you get the business.
What's up, Brian?
This is it, huh?
How you doing?
Good, Jim.
Nice to see you, man. How's things?
Excellent.
Good.
You'll hear me talk a lot about generic and organic content. Generic content is going to be the content that is basically, you know, things that can be used with any vendor in the funeral profession. So let's throw you in the vendor bucket, just like us when we market to funeral directors. You know, we're going to use the same tactics that we use, you know, to deploy for you to get engagement and to get followers. So from that standpoint, generic content is things that could be used anywhere with anybody and make sense. Maybe it's humor, maybe it is, you know, different article content that's third-party content. And then there's the organic, and the organic content is primarily what's going to drive the needle. It's going to get the most engagement, it's going to get the most reaction, it's going to get the comments and start the conversation. And the organic content is the stuff that we can't produce. We can work with you on strategizing how to get that content and what to do with it, and then we can handle it from there once we have it. But internally, you know, who are the clients talking to? I mean, I imagine there's a lot of voices that they hear that they never actually get to see that person. And so I think, you know, one of the things that we do on the funeral home level that's very beneficial is we'll have each funeral director fill out a questionnaire, and then we create content around those questionnaires. And they're simple things like what's on your bucket list, you know, favorite sports team, hobbies, things that would make good, engaging content. And then we'll do like trivia questions and maybe have 3 headshots and they gotta guess, you know, who matches up with what sports team or whatnot along those lines. So it's a way to get very personal, but also keep it valuable, because I mean, the more you know about somebody, the better the relationship is. So when you're saying like setup, is this just an editorial on how to set up a Facebook account or why you should set up a Facebook account?
I think
For me, I thought the why would be kind of in their introduction.
Right,
and then
right.
this would actually kind of get into the nuts and bolts of if you don't have one, then here's how to do it.
Okay.
I don't know if that's stepping back too
No,
much.
I think that I think that this could almost become a playbook of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily a how-to guide, but some of the other companies that have put out kind of like social media guides or packets have been more self-serving, and it's been more editorial where you read through it, but it still isn't, okay, well, here's how I get it done. Awesome. Okay, yeah, so I think strategy, setup, best practices, advertising, then we can talk about the unique audience because that kind of goes along with advertising. Is that what you're kind of thinking when you said unique audience, is how to target ads, or are you thinking something different?
In my mind, it was the type of people that are on Facebook, I
Okay,
guess.
Twitter, and it allows us to talk about Snapchat as well, because Snapchat at some point will make sense for a funeral home. It doesn't necessarily right now, but in 15, 20 years, those millennials who are on Snapchat all day are going to be in the demographic where it's going to make sense for a funeral home. So for them to be able to get there and understand, it's not necessarily the platform and what it's how to just use it, how to create content for it is long term where they're going to see the most value in it, not knowing the ins and outs of Snapchat, but understanding in 6 seconds and 15 seconds what type of content you can create and how valuable that can be, because Snapchat content is completely different than Instagram or even Facebook. Instagram, yes, on stories. So, I mean, in my opinion, the direction we take clients is Facebook first, Instagram second.
It's just like watching your favorite program. You need to be in front of the television at a certain time. And that's kind of, and if your content is right, especially if it's educational in nature, or it addresses some trivia fact that they'd be interested in, then you'll engage them. And then of course what you do there is you do the same thing on social.
So. Yeah, the Grief Booklet series, which are his. But what we're able to do is, allow, our customers to purchase them on the market order system. They get discount pricing, you can use partner points, that whole series that he has available.
But he also does some blogs for us and other content that you can use on your social media website, things like that.
Absolutely. And then other things coming.
But it's the extra things of when we send the ideas and doing a contest and getting a quick 15-second video of this or that. Just as we were going through some of the questions that you had mentioned, like what makes you unique. As we get the market research back, there's going to be questions that you can answer in the marketplace that are going to be a value that we could set a smartphone up and record a 2-minute video that we can edit it up, make it look nice, and get it on social. Video is the driver of the most engagement. So anytime you're in the community at a community event, making our staff aware of that, and they can say, okay, here's a checklist of 3 things. If you got this, we could do this with it. So it's not a lot of time investment. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch. I'll send you an email with some follow-up points. So a really good day and a half with the Homesteaders team, talking about their social media strategy and how we're working that with them and putting together a great plan. You're getting to see a little bit of the partnership that we have with Homesteaders and how this plays out with a funeral home client. I mean, the real value is in this partnership with Homesteaders, where we can bring 2 solid companies together and we build a marketing strategy with a funeral home using all of the components that Homesteaders offers, overlaid on top of a core social media plan. And social media is really the driver of the bigger marketing message that influences then other channels through traditional media that the funeral home wants to engage in, that's valuable, and then social can amplify that. So a really cool insight into when a funeral home works with Homesteaders and they choose to work with Disrupt, what actually can be brought to the table. Dean and his team at Homesteaders and their market research and the things that they can do are just paramount to the success of a funeral home. And when we can deploy all of that data and research into a social media strategy and come up with a plan that is go-to-market ready and fast, a funeral home can really move and capture market share and protect market share as well. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's two great companies coming together, and you got to see some of that this week. So it was really good that, you know, Homesteaders let us bring a camera and show what that partnership looks like and how that works and how we can bring in a funeral home and really in a day and a half create a very comprehensive strategy that is go-to-market ready and utilizing all of the touch points that Homesteaders offers and then using social as the amplifier. So super power-packed. Wish we could have got more of just the meat and potatoes of those meetings, but unfortunately there's just some proprietary information in there that we can't show or we can't provide audio on, but just powerful. So I'm glad you're along for the ride. Hope you can see now more of the alignment that we have with Homesteaders and our ability to bring our expertise to the table and partner with a company that's been around for a long time that really has a great hold on the marketplace and understands the consumer, and then leveraging all of that data in a new marketing medium like social to amplify market share for funeral homes.